Welcome to Fleshology. If there is one single episode of Fleshology you ever fully lean into, if there is one episode that could actually change the entire future of your family and the future of humanity, this is the one. Today, we are talking about the most important thing any of us can do in the age of artificial intelligence. And yes, we mean that literally.
I mean, it sounds like massive hyperbole when you put it like that right out of the gate.
It really does.
But honestly, looking at the stack of research we have today, from the degradation of the internet to this whole concept of digital fragility, it just isn't an exaggeration. We're standing at a very specific and honestly a very dangerous crossroads in human history.
Exactly. And to guide us through this deep dive, we really have to pay homage to the spark behind it all. We are looking at the work of Brian Roemmele.
The quiet revolutionary.
That is the perfect way to describe him. He's the director of the Save Wisdom Project, but looking at his background, he's really the guide for this entire Fleshology journey we're on. He's been this voice in the wilderness about voice technology and AI for decades. Like, he saw this coming before anyone else even had the vocabulary for it.
Right, and what makes his current work so fascinating is that he's a technologist who is prescribing a seemingly anti-technology solution.
Totally.
He's been sounding the alarm that while we're building these massive AI brains, we are completely forgetting the soul. He's the one pointing out that we are drowning in data, but starving for wisdom.
His core insight, and this is right there in the manifesto on the Save Wisdom site, is something that just shifts your entire worldview. He says, information has the power to inform, but it is wisdom that has the power to transform.
That distinction right there is the pillar of this entire deep dive.
Yeah.
We need to define that clearly right now for everyone listening. Information is data. It's facts. It's, what is the boiling point of water? Or what is the capital of France? We are currently drowning in that. We have more information at our fingertips than any civilization in history.
In our pockets.
Exactly. But wisdom is different. Wisdom is, how do you recover from a broken heart? Or when is it right to forgive someone who deeply hurt you?
It's the application of knowledge through actual lived experience, and we are absolutely starving for that.
Starving. And that leads us to the first major problem identified in the source material, which they call the specter of amnesia.
This part of the research, I gotta say, really hit me hard. We have this arrogance living right now that because we have the internet, we remember everything. We think, oh, it's on the cloud, it's forever. But the sources point out that history is actually haunted by amnesia.
It's the cycle of civilizational loss.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a historical fact. Civilizations fall, libraries burn. Look at the Library of Alexandria. Languages just die out.
Yeah.
And when that happens, the wisdom is lost. It forces every single new generation to relearn the exact same basic truths, the same moral lessons over and over again, and usually they have to relearn it through pain and suffering.
We are just constantly reinventing the wheel of human morality.
We are.
And you might be listening and thinking, well, we have hard drives now. We have massive server farms. But the research on digital fragility is terrifyingly clear. Most digital content will be deleted, corrupted, or just lost within an arc of 100 years.
Think about bit rot. Think about format obsolescence. I mean, try opening a WordPerfect file from 1995 today.
Good luck.
Right, now project that forward 100 years. Companies go bankrupt, servers get wiped to save money, subscriptions lapse. If your legacy is on a cloud server owned by a corporation, it is temporary. You are leasing that space. It is not yours.
But there's a bigger threat here, specifically regarding artificial intelligence. The sources call it the sludge.
The sludge. This is critical for you to understand. Everyone is so excited about AI training on the internet. But think about what the internet actually is right now.
It's a lot of noise.
Yeah.
It's cat videos, people arguing, influencers selling things, and increasingly it's just content written by other AIs.
Exactly. If future AI is only trained on the public internet, it's being trained on shallow, averaged-out sludge. In computer science, there's a genuine, documented fear of model collapse, where AI basically trains on AI-generated data and gets stupider over time. It's missing the most valuable resource humanity has to keep it grounded.
Which is us, the actual lived experience of 8 billion people.
Precisely. We're sitting on the untapped insight of 8 billion lives. Mechanics, teachers, nurses, grandparents, combat veterans, people who have navigated heartbreak, who have mastered a physical craft, who have learned how to cope with total failure. That is wisdom.
And right now, that wisdom is completely invisible to the machines that are going to shape our future. because it's locked inside our heads.
It's tragic to think about. All that insight, it just evaporates when a person passes away. It's literally like a library burning down every single time an elder dies. So this is where the solution comes in, the Save Wisdom Project.
SaveWisdom.org. It's a literal mission to safeguard human knowledge before it's too late.
And they've built a tool to do it. It's called the 1,000 Questions to Save Your Wisdom. And we're looking specifically at version 7.0, which was just released in February 2025. It's totally free, open source, and covers 10 life categories.
This is the democratization of wisdom. Historically, think about who got to leave a legacy. Who got to write the history books?
Kings,
Yeah.
conquerors,
Yeah.
maybe a few elite philosophers, the people who got the statues built for them.
Exactly. The Save Wisdom Project completely challenges that hierarchy. The core belief here is that every single individual possesses wisdom of incredible value. It doesn't matter if you have a PhD or if you didn't finish high school. If you have lived a human life, you have data that the future desperately needs.
So let's talk about how this actually works. Because when I first read Technological Archive in the notes, I assumed it was going to be really complicated. I thought, I'd need a high-end computer, a fiber optic connection, maybe I need to learn some coding.
Okay.
But the protocol is the exact opposite.
It is radically simple, and that's completely by design. The methodology is built on what Brian Roemmele calls radical sovereignty.
Radical sovereignty, I just love that term.
It's so good, but let's break down what it actually means in practice, because this is a non-negotiable part of the project.
It means you own your mind and you own your data. The mandate from the source material is explicitly clear on this. Never connect to the cloud.
This is the part that honestly surprised me the most. In the current year, everything is connected. My refrigerator is connected to the cloud, but the project is saying, no. You need a cheap voice recorder, like literally a $50 digital device you buy at an office supply store, or an old phone in airplane mode.
The offline mandate is critical for two distinct reasons. First is just security. If it's not on the internet, it can't be hacked, it can't be scraped by a corporation, it can't be stolen. It's what security experts call an air gap. There's literally no physical connection to the outside world.
But the second reason mentioned in the research is psychological safety, and I think this is even more important for what we're talking about.
It definitely is. Think about the Hawthorne effect. It's the idea that people change their behavior when they know they are being observed. If you know you were recording something that might instantly sync to the cloud, or that a tech company might listen to for quality assurance, or that it might accidentally get posted to social media.
You self-censor.
You do.
You polish your image. You perform. You become the Instagram version of yourself.
Exactly. But if you are totally alone in a quiet room with a device that you know for a fact is offline, a device that is basically a digital vault, you can actually be truthful. You can admit to terrible mistakes. You can talk about your deep regrets. You can be messy.
That creates a space for genuine vulnerability.
And vulnerability is exactly where the wisdom is. The project doesn't want your polished PR statement. It wants your tears, your whispers, your regrets, your hard-learned lessons. That's the data that actually matters.
So the process is remarkably analog. You find a quiet place, alone. You read a question from the list. You pause and think, and then you just record the answer in your own voice.
So simple, low tech. But the result is profound.
And this is where the magic happens, because we aren't just making cassette tapes for the attic that no one will ever play. We are taking that analog soul and moving it into the future. Let's talk about the Wisdom Keeper.
This is the technological transformation that blew my mind. Imagine you do this for a year. You have this stack of audio files, hours and hours of you answering these deep questions. Step one is local transcription.
And to be clear for you listening, local means the software runs entirely on your own computer chip, not on a server in California somewhere.
Right. You use open source speech-to-text software to turn that audio into text on your own machine. So now you have a fully searchable text database of your entire life. You can literally search for the word grandma or the year 1999 and find every single mention.
But step two is where it gets incredibly sci-fi. Step two is building the Wisdom Keeper. That text is used to train a personal local AI model.
A personal AI that is, well, you.
An AI that mimics your exact thought patterns.
In a very real way, yes. It's an AI that knows your specific stories, your ethical frameworks, your sense of humor, your core values.
Yeah.
And it lives on your device forever. Imagine your great-great-grandchildren, people you will obviously never meet, being able to interact with that.
That gives me chills every time I think about it. It's like a hologram in a science fiction movie, but it's real.
They aren't just reading a dusty old diary where they have to guess your tone. They're interacting with your wisdom. They could literally ask your AI, hey, Grandma, How did you handle it when you lost your job in your 30s? Or what did you really think about love? And the AI answers based on your lived truth in your style.
And the sources emphasize that keeping the original audio is absolutely vital because of the soul in the voice.
Text alone is so flat. I mean, you can read a transcript of a joke, but you miss the timing completely. The human voice captures emotion.
Right.
The laughter, the crack in your voice when you talk about a really hard time, that long, heavy pause before you answer a difficult question, that preserves the soul of the experience in a way that just writing text never, ever could.
Let's dive into these actual questions. Because doing 1,000 questions sounds like a mountain. It sounds like a lot of homework. But when you look at the 10 categories in version 7.0, it's a journey.
It really covers the entire human experience. Childhood, values, love, mortality, work, creativity, fear.
I want to read a few of these just to give you a taste of what we're talking about, because
Yeah.
these aren't just what is your favorite color.
Go for it.
Okay, here's one from the childhood category. What is your most treasured childhood memory? Simple, right? But then it hits you with, what is one belief you once held that you've since had to unlearn?
Man, that's a powerful one. That requires you to actually admit you were wrong about something. It forces you to explain your growth arc. That is pure wisdom showing how you changed your mind, not just telling them what you think right now.
Here's another one from the love category. How do you define a healthy and satisfying relationship?
Imagine having your parents or your grandparents answer that question. Not the Hallmark card version, but the real messy truth. Imagine them saying, it takes work, it takes compromise. And then imagine hearing their specific definition of what compromise actually looked like in their marriage.
And the mortality category. This one honestly stopped me in my tracks when I read it. How do you want to be remembered after you're gone?
These questions are actively designed to be therapeutic. The source notes actually mention this. They say, I have not known anyone testing these questions not cry at some point.
So it's not just about archiving data for the future. It's a profound journey of self-discovery right now.
It fosters self-awareness. It helps heal trauma. It helps you identify your own blind spots. I mean, even if you never hear the AI, even if no one else ever hears the audio, the simple act of answering these questions changes you. It forces you to synthesize your scattered life into a coherent narrative. You understand yourself better.
And that leads us to the bigger vision of this whole project. Because while this is deeply personal, it's about my legacy, my family, it's also planetary. We need to talk about the noosphere.
The noosphere. This is a concept coined by the philosopher Pierre Teilhard de Chardin back in the early 20th century. It's a dense philosophical concept, but think of it this way. Just as we have a biosphere of living things, like plants and animals all connected, the noosphere is the sphere of human thought enveloping the Earth.
A layer of collective consciousness.
Exactly, a global network of interconnected minds. The Save Wisdom project isn't just about saving individual audio files on a hard drive. It aims to create a literal noosphere of human wisdom.
A true collective intelligence.
Right. If enough people do this, if enough of us safeguard our wisdom locally, we move toward what Teilhard called the omega point.
The omega point, that sounds intimidating. It sounds like the end of the world or something.
It does. But it's actually the exact opposite. It's the ultimate ambition for humanity. It's reaching a state of collective intelligence and completion. A state where human wisdom isn't just scattered and lost to time, but interconnected. By doing this, we banish that specter of amnesia we talked about earlier. We give the future a soul rather than just raw numerical data.
We are essentially building the conscience of the future.
We are ensuring that the machines of tomorrow actually understand what it means to be human, because we took the time to sit down and tell them. If we don't provide this nuanced emotional data, the AI will just be a cold calculator. But if we do provide it, the AI becomes a partner in human evolution.
This is, I mean, it's huge, it's overwhelming, but in the absolute best way possible. It totally reframes the whole AI is going to destroy us narrative into AI as a vessel for our greatest wisdom.
That's the very definition of a legacy. It's the closest thing to real immortality we have ever had access to.
So we have to bring this back to right now, to you, the person listening to this deep dive, because the future of humanity literally rests on whether enough of us actually do this, or if we just nod along while listening, think it's a cool idea, and then forget about it.
It rests entirely on you, the listener.
You do not need to finish all 1,000 questions. You don't need to do it all this weekend. In fact, doing it all at once is probably impossible emotionally.
No, that's completely the wrong approach. It's a marathon, not a sprint.
Just start with one tonight. That is the call to action here. Go to savewisdom.org right now, download the questions. Version 7.0 is there waiting for you.
Grab your phone, put it in airplane mode, double-check that it is definitely offline, or go order that cheap little recorder.
And record your first answer. Just one. Do it for your kids. Do it for your future self. Do it for humanity.
Because if you don't take the time to save your wisdom, no one else will. It will just be gone forever, and the future really needs you.
This is not just an episode. This is a movement of love. And Fleshology is proud to stand with Brian Roemmele and say, the time is now.
Absolutely. The time is now.
You've got this. And the future is already thanking you.
One question at a time.
So, as we wrap up, I want to leave you with one final thought to mull over. What if your great-great-grandchild is facing a massive life crisis 100 years from now, feeling completely alone, and the exact words they need to hear to survive it are the ones you sit down and record tonight?
Wow.
Think about that. Thanks for joining us on this deep dive. Now go record.